So SUI is going absolutely insane right now as we speak. Take a look at this. It right now is at $3.65.6. Absolutely crazy. I was also talking about opening a new bot for SUI. I'll be doing that in today's video. Actually, matter of fact, let me just create it right here. How exactly I came up with these parameters and exactly what we're doing with that, we'll talk about a bit later. But yeah, SUI is going absolutely insane right now, and we have got to talk about it. So let's dive right in. Bitcoin, after breaking out from its inverse head and shoulder pattern, is now actually still continuing to push towards our resistance. We talked before about this $95,000 mark, actually 94.9, somewhere along that line as being the most important resistance that we struggled with over the past couple of days, and it seems slowly but surely we're inching closer towards it. And we're hoping that over the short term, this is going to lead to a phenomenal breakout of sorts. I mean, we are seeing a beautiful ascending triangle, with the target for this breakup potentially being as high as $98,000. But again, the most important hurdle to get over is what we're facing right now. On the short term, if, depending on what happens over the next few hours, we could actually get ourselves this initial bullish close already, closing the highest 4-hourly candle in a very, very, very long time, at least a few months. Because take a look back at it, the last time we got above $95,000 is actually all the way back on the 24th of February. So this is a very crucial moment, and let's quickly check it out. We're just roughly 0.9% away or so. This could happen within just a few hours. Similarly for XRP, even though this is not necessarily a very bullish pattern, we are seeing the overarching pattern being extremely juicy. What I mean with that is, we've been downtrending for so long. We finally saw ourselves the breakout, got rejected at about $2.25, broke back down, actually got supported on this downtrend line. And right now, slowly but surely are creeping ourselves back up, with again, dual resistances basically being at about $2.25. But if it were to break out, I think it could be a very quick and easy move to at least the $2.50 area, which obviously is just a major psychological barrier. But again, depending on what causes that move, it could be a pretty quick move all the way right back to $2.80, because the market is just that damn bullish. Having said that, SUI is one of those coins leading the charge. And yesterday, I told every single one of you that I don't want to make a SUI bot because the price is up so much. I thought it was too scary to do so. And fun fact, yesterday when I made that video, the price was what? $3.15, something like that. Right now, the price is $3.67 per SUI. Absolutely crazy. It is up. Let's quickly check it out. Roughly 82% in just 4 days. And I decided to add a bot because it was the most requested bot request by far. And the situation here is as follows. I added half of my usual size, only $1,500. Similarly with HBAR, because the price is up so much in just a few days that it gets riskier. Not because we can't make money on it. No, we'll definitely make money on it. But it's never nice to be down on your investment for a while. If SUI crashes another, for example, it's up 80% in just a few days. If it crashes another 30% or so, our bot will make a ton of money because the range we set. But on the short term, it might mess up our I guess, brains a little bit. It might just be annoying to look at. So it is sometimes wise to put a lower initial investment so that if we get a massive correction, we can double dip down. And basically, for example, if we go back to $2.90, maybe back to $3, go back 20% or so, we buy in for a second half to get our investment to $3,000 at that level. Again, this is all proportional. We could do this with $600. We could do this with almost $1 million or maybe $2 million as well. It just depends on how much you're comfortable with. I only funded this account with $15,000 to make it very, very easy for everybody to see exactly what we're doing, copy along without the numbers being too crazy. I will also have to keep updating my sheet because we now today added an HBAR and a SUI bot to the roster, with the idea being that Bitcoin is gearing up for potentially yet another massive move here. A lot of people are taking action. A lot of people are preparing for the next breakout because looking at alts, just seriously looking at them, many have flown here, all right? SUI is up 22% in a day. Stacks is up 20-something%. Bitcoin SV up 22%. Ondo up 18%. Helium up 15%, BONK up 13%, Graph up 16%. You get it. Many of these coins are up with double-digit gains. And, well, we've been talking about the bull market being back for a few days now, and I've made a few videos saying I'm taking action right now, but now it's showing itself, all right? Look at this top list right here. Just look at how much some of these coins are up. Pengu up 40%, BuySwap up 65%. It's kind of funny how Trump coin made our markets. It made some interesting things. It destroyed our markets, and right now, Trump coin is going back up. I mean, we've got the White House now making statements. They actually just said earlier today, let me quickly go and open it up. The Federal Reserve announced the withdrawal of guidance for banks related to their crypto asset and dollar token activities and related changes to its expectation for these activities. I was not sure if this was bullish or bearish, but Michael Saylor came out to say banks are now free to begin supporting Bitcoin because this official ruling just came out. So that's a pretty big deal if you ask me. But we've also got more news in paradise. Apparently, China is considering suspending its 125% tariffs on some US goods. So that is actually quite interesting. And the fears of some sort of massive macro crash are actually increasing. Now, traditionally, I'd say that's bad for cryptos because of the one-to-one correlation. But to some extent, I'm thinking, man, if things really start to crash and gold starts flourishing, Bitcoin usually goes on a crazy rampage right after gold. Maybe it is a good thing. Now, I will reiterate that still our end target for this run is somewhere between August of this year to about January of next year, somewhere within this little circle of sorts. And I still believe that even though prices have come down, in a bull market, we never really close at least below this yellow line. We always just stick above it. So again, our worst case scenario is roughly $78,000 for any sort of weekly close. But generally speaking, the trend looks like this, right? It's upwards slowly but surely. And I still believe that's exactly what's bound to happen here, right? All it could take is a bit of time. But generally speaking, we are going up. And now, if you zoom out, it looks like the market is just progressing exactly as it normally does in a bull market, right? It doesn't really look as if all the time we've spent down here in the 70s where things were just awful, and people were saying the bull run is over. It doesn't really look like that phase ever existed because it just looks like a very normal, natural correction. Well, that really didn't hurt anybody. Everybody still felt like the bull market was there, right? Which obviously, when it was there, did not feel that way. But maybe it's also because this run right here was just a bit more up only, or at least it seems like it. People sometimes forget that there was about, let's see here, 224 days between these high points also, right? So there was many months where things were just doing absolutely crap in the midst there, and the price went down what? Let's quickly see here, roughly 60% for Bitcoin or so in that bull market. This time around, the price only went down, let's see, roughly 30% or so, which again was basically one of our worst case scenarios as we talked about on the channel here. And it seems as if this is again prime time for altcoins, which is why I wanted to make sure I have my bots set up, at least some of them. For SUI here, you can see we just added it. It's doing okay. This might get into the negative on the short term, but will be extremely profitable over the long term. If you also want to follow along with my bot trades, make sure you check out Payonics. A link for it is down below. This is the platform I'm using to trade on right now. Then you also have yourself some bonuses. If you want to trade, you can claim yourself some juicy bonuses for just depositing. So make sure you give those to yourself as well. And then follow the bots by pressing one of these links right here. It will lead you to this page. Just press copy the bot. And all it'll ask you is, hey, how much do you want to put into it as well? And all it does is follow my exact bots, my exact settings, my exact steps. And then the most important thing you have to decide for yourself is how much margin you want to add to change your liquidation price, for example, depending, of course, on your investment. And again, there will always be a little button, like if we go, for example, here, that says, do you want it to be basically automatic? This little button, extra margin or automatic adjustment or whatever. All it does is it basically gives you either, if you look at the numbers below here, a investment, a new one, with, let's just quickly do it like this. Can we? Oh, we don't have enough money here. Anyway, what it would do is if we insert a number, right, it would basically split it between actual investment and extra margin. You can see right there, or just actual investment. And the difference would be the actual investment is how much money we put into the bot, which again, 3x leverage or so, versus the margin being just to lower our liquidation price where we'd get wrecked. So you can see for HBAR, my price range is from 4 cents to 51, but if we go all the way back down to 11 cents, I'd have a little bit of a problem. So I'd have to add some extra money to the bot to make sure that if we go to all those lows, it actually has enough money to buy the dip of the dip. It's not necessarily buying the dip of the dip, but it's basically that from here on forward, because we're using leverage, we might get wrecked at that point. So again, we add some extra margin to make sure that doesn't happen, which is also why for XRP, you can't perfectly see, but I've added a little bit of extra margin, about a couple $100. There you go. You can see just so my liquidation price is below $1.50. But again, I have time to change this over time. So it doesn't have to be done today. As long as you're paying attention every few days or every once in a while when the market moves a lot, I think you should be good to go. Now, again, if you have another currency you'd like to see us make a bot for, do let me know. Everybody who's followed along since the start is right now in an extreme amount of profit. I mean, just the Solana bot we opened yesterday, I only put $3,000 in and we're up $170 on that in just one day. Bitcoin, as you can see, we opened it 3 days ago. I think we're up $550. XRP, same, about $3, $520. And these two I opened both today, $12 and $15 respectively. Don't let these numbers fool you though. This again could go into a massive negative for the time being, but that's because again, it's a volatility bot. If prices go down lower, it buys. If prices go up higher, it sells. You can see as at this point, it's got a lot of targets in to buy as the price goes down lower, a lot of targets in to sell as the prices go higher. But more importantly, we want the price to move a lot so you can just keep cashing out, cashing out, cashing out. And this is not the same as just any one of my normal trades. It's different because this, all we want is the price to just go straight up. Whereas with this bot, we want it to go up and down and up and down and down because that way we make most of the money. If it goes up only, we also make money, but preferably it gets deeper so it can buy a lot more and then goes up so it can sell a lot. But the nice thing about this is it sells automatically. You don't have to think about it too much. Anyway, links are down below to that. SUI is going absolutely crazy, beyond expectation really, but that's the FOMO kicking in, right? I don't want to buy at a crazy high price, but on the opposite side, I'm thinking if this asset is really the XRP of earlier in the season, SUI is one of those coins that just can keep rallying on and on and on. All right, at this price range, I can't tell you that I'm extremely comfortable and that it's low still. No. I'm just saying SUI is one of those coins that sometimes just keeps on rallying, keeps on going further. Just last cycle, no, it's this cycle even, just a few months ago, I thought, oh, SUI can't really go more at all, right? And that was, I think, at like $1 or something like that. And then it just kept going on to $2, $2.30. When the top hit and it came back down, I thought, oh, you see, that was it for the SUI rally. And all of a sudden, over time, it hit a matter of, or it hit a price of $5.40. So never underestimate the power of SUI. They have done some crazy, crazy numbers a few months ago. I expect them to do some crazy, crazy numbers yet again. It might take some time, but generally speaking, I don't mind getting myself a juicy SUI position. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for right now. For our update, SUI eventually at the end of the season will probably be above $15. I already feel it just now. So this is a very, very juicy spot that we're in. But yeah, look at those bots doing amazing. And I'll keep you guys up to date whenever I change something or do something new. But yeah.